accepting your offer to buy Douda out of my businesses.
I gave you 30 grand to spy on your brother.
I'm on it.
That's why I didn't want to do it. Why do I have to be strong all the time?
Who is it?
Emmett, I think something's wrong.
The Shy is back. The Shy is back. What's up, people? Welcome back to TaylorMade Incorporated. We're back with another Shy recap. Hopefully everybody's been able to catch up. Let's get into our recap, people. This is The Shy Season 6, Episode 12, titled City of Gold. Okay, people, so we left off last episode with Papa trying to find his way in search of a mentor since his father's passing, and wondering how the relationship between Shaad and Alicia was going to play out as far as business and personal, as now he's now working for her. All right. And also, last but not least, knowing that the heat was coming down on Douda and Trig, a.k.a. Victor, the councilman, but mostly Trig, since his DNA was found in the car. All right, so the episode starts off with Douda going downtown. That's SWV. Y'all know nothing about that, youngsters.
Downtown. Put your mouth on me.
Douda going downtown on Bianca in the cigar lounge as she's whispering his ear and reminding him to get Victor to clear the legal permits so they can start selling Tiff's weed in the cigar lounge. Okay. Then we go to Bakari, is in his room writing, and his sister Brittany comes to visit him. He tells her he's writing a book, and she busts out laughing like, are you writing this book in your phone? No, like, that's not, a good idea. So, now as a published author myself, y'all can go check out One More Kiss, for available now on Amazon. Writing a book in your phone really ain't a good idea. First off, it takes too much space in your phone. A book is a large file. And number two, it's not really formatted if you're writing it in your notes on your phone. You need a writing program such as MS Word or something of that nature. Not your phone notes, people. That's not a good idea. Also, when you're doing it on these programs, that makes it easier to send to editors and or so people will be easy access and allowed to read it, as far as emailing it, chapter by chapter or the whole book. But anyway, his sister finally comes to check on him, as if she's not being paid $30,000 to keep an eye on him anyway. Like, that's what she's here for. But she's doing her own thing. So they have a heart-to-heart, about their way of life and how they grew up and shit that they've been through and coming up, going through the foster care system and being separated and how she never came back for him, X, Y, and Z. He's telling her how he felt abandoned by her, and she apologizes, but she also advises him to be careful about writing this book and exposing, their secrets, his secrets. For example, the fact that he did kill Ronnie for killing Cogi. So he did get away with that body. If you did get away with a murder, you might not want to write it in a book for people to read. But let's proceed, man. So he goes to visit Professor Gardner, a.k.a. Kadeem Hardison, to let him check out what he's wrote so far. And the professor confirms to him that, yeah, if you're going to take this seriously, you might want to invest in a laptop or a computer to write this out properly. So it has to be structured, meaning paragraphs, grammar, punctuation marks, etc., etc. If you're going to be seriously writing a book, you have to do it seriously. So Professor Gardner confirmed that for him, and he put his mind together to, now I need money to buy a computer. All right, back with Emmett and Tiff. Emmett goes to see Tiffany. I don't know why. He goes to see Tiffany for advice, man. So he's asking Tiffany about what he should do because Douda told him to kill Alicia. Tiff freaks out and she's like, you're not going to kill my dude's mama. Like, that's not going to work for me. And she might be a little bit crazier than Douda, so we need to come up with a different plan than that. So Emmett tells Tiff to set up a meeting between him and Alicia so he can let Alicia in on what Douda told him to do. Now, so Douda popped up on Victor, aka Trig, to make sure, he came through with those permits for Bianca so she can start selling Tiff's weed in the cigar lounge. This is where Trig starts to figure out, as he's going to councilman meetings and still dealing with people in the streets and still dealing with his regular life, that politics ain't really that much different than the streets. They just dress it up better with suits, etc., etc. And they cover it up. They hide behind laws. So politics ain't really different than the streets. They're all crooked. All right, back at Smokey's. Papa is telling Kenya that he might be leaving Smokey's to go work for her father full time at the mega church. And she's lost and confused. Like, she had no idea that this was even an option. She doesn't really talk to her father like that. But she's warning Papa to be careful of getting caught up in the glitz and glamour, or maybe that the church is not pro Jesus, it's pro feeding the pastor's pockets. Now, Tiff saw Douda and Bianca getting busy in the cigar lounge, so she questioned Bianca about their relationship, asking her not to mix business with pleasure because she doesn't want to get tied in with him. And Bianca reassures her that her relationship with Douda is strictly transactional, which basically means the same thing, but whatever. Bianca, are you dumb? Like, seriously, are you stupid or are you dumb? Friends with benefits is basically the same thing as mixing business with pleasure if you're also going to be asking him for favors and or doing favors. So they're basically kissing cousins. Let's stop the nonsense, Bianca. But Tiff still has to mind her business, and we'll get back to that later. Now, Emmett gets his meeting set up with Alicia, where we get our first view of Shaad being the head of security. And it's funny how things change in a matter of days. So he went from sleeping on Emmett's parents' couch to now he's patting down Emmett for Alicia as the head of security. This shit is weird already. This is a whole weird relationship and dynamic. But, patting Emmett down like he wasn't going to do nothing to Alicia anyway. Emmett ain't no harm to nobody. So Emmett informs Alicia of Douda's plan about him being sent to kill her. And he tries to convince Alicia that he'd rather be on her team than Douda's, which is basically trading one evil for another. But proceed, Emmett. You already in deep water, and there's really no way out of it besides aligning with one of them. So, as all this is going on, Douda approaches Tiffany at the cigar lounge to check her temperature about Rob getting shot. See, here's where Tiffany steps out of bounds per usual, man. Ladies, I try to tell y'all all the time about boundaries. Well, not just ladies, because I've seen some of my friends do this as well. The information that you have, kind of keep that close to the vest, man. You don't want to tell people's business to somebody that they're maybe running game on, maybe not all the way genuine, whatever it may be. If that person, you looking at it like you might not like this person, so, or that person may think they're getting over, so you're going to be the one to check them. But that's not your position. Stay in your lane.
Your man and I, we're in business together.
Yeah, not so long.
And make sure that Bianca gets these. She'll know where they're from.
She don't even like you like that. She told me what y'all got is purely transactional.
She just was saying too much and giving up too much tape. She told Douda that Rob won't be working with him for much longer, and that Bianca was basically using him. Like, let Rob handle that business on his own, and it's not your place to speak on if Bianca's using him or not. You trying to make him look bad or feel bad, but you're really causing more trouble than you know. That unnecessarily speaking out of term shit causes more damage than is a good thing. Keep your mouth shut, people. You keep your mouth shut. All right, then back at Emma and Keisha's crib. Keisha started being frantic as they had to rush baby Ronnie to the hospital, where the doctor is asking her about the father's medical history. And, doc, you mean the man that raped Keisha? That's the father. See, this is why I'm against women having babies in these circumstances. Your body, your choice. But also, you have to know the risks that you're taking when you're bringing another life into this world. It's way too many outside issues that I think a lot of women don't factor in. They just look at it as like, it's my baby, the baby's innocent. But like I said, there's other outside factors in these situations. But at the hospital, Douda and Nook ran up on Emmett and pressed him about him handling his business with Alicia, as he's supposed to be getting her out of the way. Douda reminded him he's on the clock. And Emmett's looking around like, how did y'all even know that I'm here? Well, this is a TV show for one. And number two, like Douda said, I got eyes everywhere. So they probably have somebody following you or people working at certain places that's going to just be like, yeah, such and such is right here when you're looking for them. All right, the episode ends with Victor, a.k.a. Trig, being arrested for accused murder. Now Q's going to be in a tough spot. Does he snitch on Douda? Can he even prove that Douda is the one that killed him? He's also a councilman. So how does this work with him being the councilman and being arrested for a murder? That's going to be interesting to see how Alonzo, a.k.a. Leon, figures this out to get him out of this jam. But my footnotes for this episode is, my favorite part was Bianca reminding Trig that everything and everybody in life is transactional. So as long as people are asking you for favors, you better get some back in return. But the kicker was Bianca checking Tiff for running her goddamn mouth to Douda where she had no business. Tiff is so fine. She fine wine, the finest lady on the show. But she's so stupid. And she reacts emotionally and out of spite. Always leading with her mouth and not in a good way. But also, we saw Darnell warning Shaad's goofy ass about being in over his head as Alicia's new boy toy / head of security. He's still in denial or delusional about what's actually going on. And like he acts like he works for a Fortune 5 company or some shit. The obliviousness be blowing me. And Trig offered him a legit job, and he turned it down because he knew he wasn't going to be getting the money that Alicia is going to be paying him. But when you think about it, why would you think she'd be able to pay you that amount of money? Because it's not illegal. All right. Now, Papa is blindly falling under the pastor's spell as he gave his first testimony at the church. And you can see that he's about to get caught up in believing everything the pastor says. And it'll be more about the business of church, more than the church's business. And we also saw Jake sneak off with the first lady, but he was doing some business, not the nasty business. He was actually, he makes T-shirts and stuff like that. So he did some business with her on that name. But he probably still gonna be smashing that. I see you, my young boy. I know you're still gonna be hitting that. But all in all, there was a lot in this episode. It's probably my favorite episode so far. I give it a 7 out of 10. This episode was about Douda tightening the reins on all his loose ends and trying to eliminate Alicia as soon as possible. As we see the women trying to unite, Tiff, Bianca, and Alicia are basically making an alliance as women. They're trying to do their women empowerment thing. And we'll see how that works out. If Tiff can mature and grow beyond her emotions and spite. Now she's being placed in a bigger position where she can grow. And last but not least is Bakari. Bakari is writing his story instead of becoming a story. Don't let that fly over your head. But I'll see y'all back again after episode 13. See y'all next time. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Hit that loud bell notification. Leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. And we're out of here, people. Deuces.
This will look good on you in your casket.